campaign funds on designer clothes, a tremendous amount of money on a future vice presidential wardrobe for her and her daughter. And McCain, like a jellyfish, didn't even make a stink about it. Didn't say anything. He should have hammered her for it.
The Obamas paid 20.5% in federal income taxes in 2011. In an interview for broadcast Thursday evening on NBC's Rock Center, Romney's wife Ann declared, "There's going to be no more tax releases given."
What the hell is she? But she says so?
Any further disclosures would only give ammunition to Romney's opponents. Bingo! Yes, it would! Because he's hiding something!
So all she cares about is their selfish, greedy agenda. She don't care about doing the right thing.
Of course not.
Of course.
See, sometimes the Republicans actually tell the truth when they don't know it.
Yes, it will give ammunition for Romney's opponent.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
Have you seen how we're attacked? Have you seen what's happened?
Oh, poor baby. My heart bleeds for her. Oh.
We have been transparent to what's legally required of us. But the more we release, the more we get attacked. The more we get questions, the more we get pushed. We have done what's legally required, and there's going to be no more tax releases given. And there's a reason for that. And that's because of what happens as soon as we release anything.
It sounds like the old song, Charlie Brown, da-da-da-da-da, Charlie Brown, da-da-da-da-da, he's a clown, da-da-da, that Charlie Brown, I'm going to get even, just you wait and see. How come everybody's always picking on me?
We want to hide things from the American people, and you will let us do it. Or else.
Damn right. Damn straight.
Who the hell are you little picayune people, puny people, you know,
the little people,
to ask us, the elites, about our taxes?
The little people.
Lilliputians.
Lilliputians. Lilliputians. Oh, before I forget, I want to salute and say get well soon, speedy recovery to our good friend and king of clubs in terms of Persian and Indian club swinging, Mr. Army McGuire, who is based in Los Angeles, California. Get well soon from surgery, Army McGuire. And also good luck, and I'm very excited about this, to your new business venture. He has told me personally that he will be starting very soon a company that produces authentic traditional Persian meals, otherwise known as clubs, and Indian clubs, done the right way, the correct way, the authentic way, the high quality way to produce. Most likely will be the very finest Persian meals and Indian clubs in the world today. Once he gets the ball rolling, once he gets it rolling, once he gets it going. Army McGuire, I salute you, good luck to you, and I will perform the good luck ritual with my lucky shillelagh to your business. Wait a minute. Kiss the Shamrock. I'm superstitious. What do you want? Knock on wood? And send the energy throughout the internet to cyberspace from the lucky shillelagh made of blackthorn. Leprechaun stick. All right.
26 big U.S. companies.
I wasn't finished yet. Good luck to your business. All right, go ahead.
Paid their CEOs more last year than they paid in federal income taxes.
Oh, yeah?
The study by the Institute for Policy Studies said the companies, including AT&T, Boeing, Citigroup, paid their CEOs an average of $20.4 million last year, while paying little or no federal tax on ample profits.
Oh, yeah.
On average, the 26 companies generated net income of more than $1 billion in the United States, the study said. The study blasted tax rules, allowing unlimited deductions for CEO performance pay, like many stock options. It said 5 biggest performance payers among the 26 companies took $232 million of these deductions last year. Among the kingpins it criticized was CEO James McNerney Jr. Of Boeing. It said he got $18.4 million in pay last year, while his company received a tax refund of $605 million.
Oh, gee, those CEOs are just so valuable that they require so much compensation. Oh, they're nothing but paper pushers.
Well,
corporate
they don't
whores.
really get paid for performance, because bunches and bunches of them have been paid the big bucks and their golden parachutes and etc. And they drove their companies into the ground.
For all their hard work, for all their hard, dedicated work.
The study also laid into Citigroup for paying CEO Vikram Pandit $14.9 million, while the bank received a net $144 million in tax benefits. 18 of the 26 companies received cash back or credits to apply against tax in the future. The study, a 45-page attack on the corporate tax code, said deductions and credits are allowing companies to lavish big pay packages on executives so they can cut their tax bills, while Washington gets less money in a time of trillion-dollar-plus deficits. You see? But to pay the little guys more money, no, they don't want to do that.
No, they want you to work.
As far as the tax write-off.
They want you to work for chicken feed, for chicken scratch, and be slaves.
Our nation's tax code has become a powerful enabler of bloated CEO pay.
This is like imperialism for the royal families of the past, you know?
Well,
Same
the
thing,
more
right?
money that's on the top means that there's less money at the bottom. And what drives the economy? The bottom.
The bottom. The backbone of the economy.
70 to 75%.
And you have to have demand to create
That's the demand.
To create a job market. You need demand, but you know, with this sort of feudalistic oligarch,
I used to call it plantation economy, like down in the South with the slaves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well,
where all them big boys with the big plantations had all the moolah.
and you notice how the fat cats want to disarm Americans and take away their guns. You know, they
don't know about that.
so they can't. So people can't revolt.
I don't know about the fat cats wanting to do that. The fat cats support NRA.
Okay. Well, maybe they're just
The
trying
fat cats
to.
are afraid of democracy. People participating in their own government. That's what they're afraid of. Because they are a minority. We are in the majority. But we don't work like a majority. In fact, we blame the victims. We fight amongst ourselves. And they laugh at the top.
Well, our best weapon, believe it or not, is not a weapon. It's boycotting. There are some banners on the Facebook group that we have called the Truth Whisperer, and also Holistic Health Talk. There are some banners that show all the companies that the evil Monsanto owns. And it shows you what companies, what products to boycott. If people read, you know, which products that the greedy, evil demons control and produce, they can very easily boycott, which is our greatest weapon. Really, it's you know, I mean,
but also
to the Occupy Wall Street movement, that's what I would say, is find out what the evil fat cats are producing and boycott their products.
Also, though, it's a change of mind that has to be instituted amongst people like this certain person who keeps posting to my wall. He's conservative. He doesn't like the idea that he pays taxes and some lazy bum gets his taxes.
Well, is he middle class?
Yeah.
That he's carrying the tax burden.
Yeah.
But why is he blaming the poor?
That's my point.
Why is he blaming the poor?
That's my point entirely.
Blame the politicians that arranged it for the rich to pay no taxes,
yeah,
and for him to pay the bulk.
Yeah.
Don't blame the poor people.
In other words, he's a, well, why should I be working for to support this bum over here?
Yeah, but doesn't social services make up a minuscule, microscopic sliver of the budget compared to, let's say, the defense budget, the Pentagon?
Yeah, but you don't hear anybody saying that or making that connection. Why don't they say something to the effect, well, I don't want my money to go to these stupid wars.
You don't hear
that. You don't hear that.
No.
No. I don't want my money, my hard-earned money going to support some bum, some lazy, some drug addict, this, that, and the other thing.
So the poor have become the scapegoat.
Ah.
For
as long as the people on top keep us fighting amongst ourselves, there will be no progress. No progress, and they will continue to rule us.
You think the 1% want America to scapegoat the poor and the homeless and things like that? I mean, there was another banner about if the Republicans care so much about family values, why do they want to close Planned Parenthood?
Well, it's a killing babies thing.
Killing babies. So a poor person should just have all these babies when there's no money to take care of them.
Hey, Bachman's husband can cure homosexuals with the Bible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's so sure of that?
Yeah.
Cure them.
Why, he's got a company that does that.
Why doesn't he mind his own damn business?
Because Republican, conservative, Christian, counterfeit Christians don't do that.
I mean,
they don't mind their own business. They evangelize.
If I was in the place of the gays, I would say, mind your own fucking business. If you stick your nose in, if you stick your head through my window, I'll chop it off.
Ugh.
No, literally, you know, I will fuck them up. If somebody tried to spy into my dwelling, it's nobody's business.
To calculate tax, the study used companies' own math based on accounting rules. Regulators require companies to estimate their tax bill and disclose it in public documents for investors. The tax filings the companies make to the government, typically in September, are private and can differ from the estimate. Another problem is that the study doesn't count tax the company plans to pay, but has deferred to future years. The authors argue that deferred tax can be put off indefinitely. Charles Bickers, a Boeing spokesman, said that the company's federal tax bill, including deferred tax, was $1.3 billion last year, not a net credit, as the think tank's study found. Boeing did lower its tax, in part, by using a popular tax credit, encouraging companies to spend more on research and development. Bickers said that helped the company hire 11,000 people in the U.S. last year. Boeing supports a simpler, more competitive tax code. At the same time, we have put the R&D tax credit to exactly the use it was designed, creating U.S. jobs in a high-value, advanced technology industry. The Institute for Policy Studies said Boeing would have spent the money on R&D without the credit. In addition to performance pay, deductions, and R&D credits, the report criticized the use of tax havens that allow technology companies, for instance, to assign intellectual property rights to shell companies in the Cayman Islands, so they can run profits through them and avoid taxes. It noted that 26 companies have a combined 537 subsidiaries in tax haven countries. Traitors! Traitors!
That's right. They actually have modern banks in the Cayman Islands? With computers and all that?
These tax havens that they have are mailboxes.
Oh, okay.
They're just mailboxes.
Oh, and
they just need the address to be considered a subsidiary.
So, based on that technicality, this is how they get away with
no taxes.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And
Swiss.
Our tax code supports it.
And then that plus the Swiss bank accounts?
Yeah. The study also cited accelerated depreciation on investments, which allow a company to take deductions for big ticket purchases in 1 year, as opposed to over several years. That cuts taxes in the first year. The study said AT&T used accelerated depreciation to save $5.2 billion on its 2011 taxes, while paying CEO Randall Stevenson $18.7 million a year. Sarah Lubman, an AT&T spokeswoman, said the deductions encouraged the company to make $20 billion in investments last year. She also said that the deductions won't be available to take in future years, which should increase taxes. A Citigroup spokeswoman noted that the company lost money in 2008 and 2009 and used the losses to offset taxes on profits this year. All scams.
All scams. Hey, did you see that my conservative Uncle Phil said that he will pray for us?
Well, unfortunately, that's very nice of him, but he'll not be heard by the God of the Bible. So if he's using prayer in the manner that they've studied, wherein they got a lot of people together, they did a double-blind study where they got a lot of people together and they prayed for a person who was sick, and then another group that didn't pray, and this, that, and the other thing, and then they found out, at the end, that, praying, the energy of prayer, does help. But you're not communicating with the deity, as the Bible says.
Because it wasn't meant to be at this time.
If you are not called, you are not communicating with the deity in the Bible.
Because he's only concerned with the 144,000.
Correct.
To rule in Jerusalem. Right now. I forgot what excuse the right-wing fundamentalist gentleman made for that 144,000 concept, but I don't know. He kind of got off the subject. I mean, it's easy to say it's all in the Bible, but prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it and tell somebody your ideas are not in the Bible. Okay, then
well,
prove
if that's not true, why don't you go and study them and come back to me?
Well, they have Bible study every week. Well, prove it. get back to Reverend Bill and show it. I mean, Uncle, when I was a kid, Uncle Phil told me something that I didn't fully understand why he said it. I was a little shocked. He says to me, we were talking about at the time the Vietnam War was going on, and I was a teenager, and I says, I was talking about it with my grandfather, who was very progressive and very left-wing liberal, and my uncle used to say, "Don't listen to your grandfather. He's a commie. He's a pinko." And then, my grandfather was right the whole time. So Uncle Phil says, if we didn't have wars, just think of how overpopulated the world would be. Isn't that kind of like culling the herd, trying to kill off the poor? Isn't that similar to that?
Of course.
So, like, the people that go to battle are most likely the little people.
I wrote an article many years ago for a newsletter concerning that. It's pathetic. All through history, the elites have had the poor and the little guy fight for them. Not for themselves,
The rich,
but for the elites.
the rich kids are not drafted.
And it still goes on.
Yeah, it still goes on. Well, you have one more article to squeeze out?
Known to the Twitterverse and the President of the United States as Mohawk Guy of the Mars mission, Bobak Ferdowsi, or Ferdowsi,
Who the hell is that?
may change the public face of NASA and of all of geekdom.
What the hell kind of name is Bobak? Is this a robot or a person?
Bobak is a person.
You gotta be kidding me. Talk about
Ferdowsi,
stupid retarded names. Bobak?
whose shaved scalp also features stars and stripes,
Oh God.
is a flight director for the Mars rover Curiosity,
Bobak.
a mission that captured the nation's imagination with its odds-defying acrobatic. And Mohawk Guy isn't the only star. There's also former rock and roller Adam Stelzner, sometimes called Elvis Guy.
Yeah, I saw some kind of musical group singing a song about the Mars rover. Why is everybody singing about the Mars rover?
Because the Mars rover is a wanderer.
But there has been other Mars.
He roams from town to town.
But there's been other Mars rovers. Why?
I like this one.
Anything special about this one?
Yeah. The way it landed. And what it's going to do.
Well, it landed the way it landed because it avoided the pitfalls of the other.
No, in the landing itself
rovers.
were many pitfalls that could have happened. They did not.
Because of the way in which this rover landed. It was smart. It was clever.
Well, those designers that designed it were clever.
To avoid the pitfalls that befell other rovers.
Or could have befallen this one.
And could have befallen this one. Yeah.
Anyway, Elvis Guy's called that because of his pompadour and his sideburns. Stelzer directed the daring landing of the rover and appears in a NASA movie trailer describing why the August 5th Mars landing involved 7 minutes of terror. The movie is posted on YouTube. It became a big hit. Mohawk Guy's Twitter followers have soared to more than 50,000. Over the weekend, he and the 49-year-old Stelzer appeared on NPR's game show Wait, Don't Tell Me. He's been doing Google Plus Hangouts. And oh yes, he's gotten marriage proposals.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Strange hairstyles are a tradition for the 32-year-old Ferrodowsi, who once had a cut that was supposed to resemble a rocket plume.
See, the more strange you are nowadays, the more women are attracted to you. You got to be fucked up to be popular with the ladies.
Last week, in a Los Angeles Times interview, he acknowledged his haircut might be a little bit of a shock.
Or a bad boy, huh? Or, yeah.
He said most people think of the serious button-down Apollo 13 NASA. But he noted that in 1967, engineers at this workplace, the Jet Propulsion Lab, wore Spock ears for the launch of the Venus-bound spacecraft.
How does it go? Live long and prosper? Am I doing it properly?
Yeah.
I can't really do it. Oh, there you go. I used to not be able to do it with the right hand.
The landing was run by Stelzer, who twice got F's in high school math.
Really?
Initially, he skipped college to play music and enjoys making his own jam, man.
And all of a sudden he blossomed.
The JPL missions are run in a creative conclave nestled in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains east of Los Angeles and managed by the California Institute of Technology for NASA. JPL prides itself on its university-like atmosphere. Some engineers work in Hawaiian shorts, and flip-flops.
Sounds like Irwin Benz of Keeping Country Strong. That's the way he goes. He broadcasts.
Others sport hippie hairstyles.
Okay.
The button-down white shirts and ties were always in Houston. They were not here. The people who have been flying robotic missions have always been about substance and not about appearances.
Well, they want a gimmick. They want to, you ever watch the on cable TV? I think it's I think it might be on PBS or the History Channel. Also, the quantum physicist, the famous quantum physicist, is one guy who has like a Greek last name, and he's got. You can tell he's trying to copy Albert Einstein. His hair is like unbrushed and just sticking straight up in the air, like a madman. Famous quantum physicists. They just want to be. They want to look eccentric. I guess so people remember them, so they stand out. I mean, how long does it take to brush your damn hair before a TV show?
Maybe they just look that way.
No, this was hair that was unbrushed. They're just sticking up like a. So anyway,
Sandra Pico is poor.
Pico?
But not poor enough.
Oh, really?
She makes about $15,000 a year, supporting her daughter and unemployed husband. She thought she'd be able to get health insurance after the Supreme Court upheld President Obama's health care law.
Yeah.
Then she heard that her own governor won't agree to the federal plan to extend Medicaid coverage to people like her in 2 years.
And who may that governor be?
Rick Perry! Rick Perry!
Rick Perry? Republican?
So she expects to remain uninsured, struggling to pay for her blood pressure medicine. You fall through the cracks, there's nothing you can do about it, said the 52-year-old home health aide. It makes me feel like garbage. Like the American dream, my dream in my homeland, is not being accomplished.
American dream was not meant for the poor. I guess the Republicans do not want the lower income people to have health insurance. I guess that's part of killing them off, right?
Yes.
Who said the American dream was meant for po folk?
Well, they just say that to get elected.
Land of opportunity, blah, blah, blah.
For them.
For them.
For them. Many working parents, like Pico, are below the federal poverty line but don't qualify for Medicaid, a decades-old state-federal insurance program.
You're below the poverty line, but you don't qualify for Medicaid? Oh, God. What do you qualify for, then? She's too rich for a Medicaid card?
That's especially true in states where conservative governors say they will reject the Medicaid expansion under Obama's health law.
So they just want, they're blatantly saying, and I hope Obama mentions it in the campaign, that the Republicans are blatantly saying they want the poor to perish. And now and they wonder why there's civil unrest starting to brew in the United States.
Well, amongst their supporters and enablers, they have managed to quell that agitation over the years
because there's
by pretending that, well, if you raise taxes on us, you could one day have money too, and then they'll raise taxes on you. Well, 90% of people in the lower rungs of the economic ladder in America will go nowhere.
That's a statistic fact. And what makes you think mainstream America that's fooled and deceived? What makes you think that the job creators are creating them in the United States? It's so simple. They're not. I don't know why you keep on falling for the conservative propaganda.
In South Carolina, a yearly income of $16,900 is too much for Medicaid for a family of 3. In Florida, it's $11,000 a year is too much.
Oh boy.
In Mississippi, $8,200 is too much.
So if you make $8,200 a year in income in the state of Mississippi,